Two unique features make the Taiwanese popcorn chicken one of the most famous street food: extraordinary crispiness and the unique spice seasoning. Hi, I'm KB Kwan from Taste of Asian Food. I want to share how to prepare the popcorn chicken that is still crispy after frying for 1 hour. And seasoned with the spice mix with a numbing feeling on your tongue. On top of that, they are flavored with deep fried basil leaves, adding a delightful texture that will shatter like a paper-thin glass. Simple ingredient, quick and easy. Let's get into the details. To make this popcorn chicken, we need a special pepper and salt seasoning. Sprinkle on top of the chicken. Here's how to do it. Toast the Sichuan peppercorns and the white peppercorns in a frying pan over low heat until they become aromatic. Be careful not to use high heat because the peppercorns will become bitter if burnt. Transfer the peppercorns to the spice grinder. It may contain some large pieces. Then pass the ground peppercorns through a sieve to remove any large pieces. Combine the ground peppercorns with salt. And if you want to be spicy, add some chili powder. Or if you want to be less spicy, substitute the chili powder with paprika for the color. As for the chicken, there's an option to use either chicken thigh or breast meat. I use chicken thigh meat because it is tender and juicier. Regardless of which one you choose, cut them into bite size of about 1-inch cubes. If you use chicken thigh meat, remember to remove the skin. The ingredients for the marinade are all popular items, like soy sauce, some salt, garlic, ginger, Chinese 5-spice powder, egg whites, all-purpose flour, and Shaoxing wine. Egg white helps to protect the chicken from the direct heat of the oil to keep it moist and tender. And the flour holds the liquid seasonings to the chicken during marination. Let it marinate in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour before proceeding to coat with the starch. And get ready some basil leaves, as we will finish the deep frying by adding the basil leaf to the chicken. Before deep frying, we need to coat the chicken with starch. It is best to do in small batch so that the chicken will be coated thoroughly. Sweet potato starch is used in the authentic Taiwanese recipe. If you are unable to get it, just like me now, you can use cornstarch as the substitute. Let the chicken rest for about 15 minutes before deep frying. The moisture in the chicken will absorb the starch and hold it firmly on the surface. If you fry the chicken immediately after coated with the starch, the loose starch on the surface will fall into the oil, and make the oil murky and dirty. I use the double fry method to create an extremely crispy surface. First, heat the oil to about 150 degrees Celsius. If you don't have a kitchen thermometer, you can check the temperature by dipping a wooden chopstick into the oil. You will see some bubbles rising around the chopstick. It will take approximately 4 minutes. Keep stirring the chicken initially to avoid them from sticking together. When it is done, remove the chicken from the oil. Deep fry the first round until the chicken turns to pale yellow. Let it cool in a wire mesh strainer. You may want to pour the oil through a strainer to remove any debris and to use it for the second time. This time, we need to crank up the heat to 190 degrees Celsius. If you put the chopstick inside the oil, there are much more bubbles around the chopstick compared to the first time. Return the chicken to the oil. The purpose of the first round of deep frying is to cook the chicken and to remove most of the moisture on the surface of the chicken. After we rest the chicken for 15 minutes, the moisture from the inside of the chicken migrates to the surface, and now the surface becomes wet again. The second round of deep frying removes all the moisture on the surface, turning it into a crispy crust without overcooking the chicken. I also make another batch by using the electric deep fryer. The result is identical. When the chicken turns golden, throw a handful of basil leaves into the oil with the chicken. The leaves will immediately crackle and cause the oil splatter. So it is advisable to cover it as soon as possible. It takes only 10 seconds to turn the basil leaves crispy. Remove the basil and the chicken immediately and drain on a colander or a wire mesh strainer. Add half to 1 teaspoon of the spice seasoning that we have made earlier. Mix to coat the surface of the chicken. The amount is flexible and it should follow your preference. Now it's ready to serve. That's how I prepare the Taiwanese popcorn chicken. If you want to get the recipe, I've included the link in the description right below the video. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button and give me a like. I'll see you again in some other similar video in the future, and bye for now.